Look at this screen. It looks like any other gaming session from the 1990s. The iconic pixelated corridors, the sound of a shotgun blast. But this isn't a human playing, and it isn't a standard AI code running on a silicon chip. Deep inside a laboratory at Cortical Labs, 200,000 human brain cells, grown on a piece of hardware called the CL1, are currently navigating the digital hellscape of doom. They aren't just processing data, they're learning, they're adapting, and they're doing it with an efficiency that should make every tech giant on Earth very, very nervous. We call it wetware. For decades, we've tried to make silicon chips act like brains, but our biological hardware has a massive head start. Your brain is the most sophisticated computer in the known universe, running on just 20 watts of power, barely enough to light a dim bulb. To simulate just a fraction of what these cells are doing, a traditional supercomputer would need its own power plant in a cooling system the size of a warehouse. Silicon is rigid, it does exactly what it's told. But biological wetware is inherently curious. It evolved over billions of years to solve problems using the least amount of energy possible. These neurons don't just calculate, they vibe. How do you teach a dish of cells to play a video game? It starts with induced pluripotent stem cells, skin or blood cells repurposed into functional human neurons. These are integrated onto a high-density microelectrode array. But you don't program them with if-then statements. You use sensory feedback. The chip sends electrical pulses representing the game state, enemies, and walls into the cells. The neurons respond. If they fire in pattern A, the character shoots. Pattern B, he moves. Through synaptic plasticity, the neurons physically restructure their own connections to minimize chaos. They literally hardwire themselves to survive. Traditional AI needs to see 1,000,000 pictures of a cat to recognize one. These neurons are different. They show adaptive, real-time, goal-directed learning. They don't need 1,000,000 games, they just need a few hours of feeling the corridors. When you pick up a slippery glass of water, your brain makes thousands of micro-adjustments instantly. Programming a robot to do that is a nightmare. But for a biological computer, handling uncertainty is what they were born to do. This isn't just about gaming, it's about the future of high-precision robotics in managing tasks where traditional logic chips fail. Which brings us to the big question, is it alive? Researchers call it a material, not a mini-brain. But as the scale grows, the line blurs. Today, it's 200,000 neurons. The human brain has 86 billion. And then there's the question of identity. These neurons carry the donor's DNA. If a biological computer becomes a billion-dollar success, who owns the genetic IP? We've made mistakes before with people like Henrietta Lacks, using cells without consent. We cannot afford to do that again. We are putting the human back in the computer, but we haven't decided what that human is worth. We've spent 70 years trying to make machines act like us. Now we've finally succeeded. We just had to put the biology inside the machine to do it. This is just the start of the cortical cloud. The question is, what will they learn to play next? Would you trust a biological computer to drive your car or perform surgery? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for the future of science.